What's up, everybody? Model Worker here for part 4 of the basics of immersive engineering. In this one, we're going to learn how to store energy, about the relays, connectors, and the wires. This one's going to be a little bit of a long one, but that's okay. So, storing energy. We have our capacitors. We have low volt, medium volt, and high volt capacitors. Now, all that means is how much it's going to transfer from low volts to medium to high. They just transfer higher or lower, it just depends which one you use. So, in order to make the low volt capacitor, it's pretty simple. You have your iron top, you have copper, lead, copper, and guess what? You have treated wood, you have redstone and treated wood. Remember, treated wood, you're going to need a lot of it, so make sure you have lots of them. And then for your medium one, pretty easy again. We have iron, electrum, again, lead, treated wood, but this time we have a redstone block. And that's it. I usually don't mess with medium volts at all or ever because it's more of a hassle to make them. But if you want to like be a completionist, you can. I don't recommend it. I usually recommend one low volt capacitor. After that, I recommend a bunch of high volts because it's super easy to make because the resources are plenty. All it is, steel, aluminum, one lead block, two treated wood, and one redstone block, and that's it. I recommend, if you can, just make high volts. They're way better, way nicer. That's just what I recommend. Get some clay from either rivers, lakes, or oceans. Get 4 of them, make one clay block. Then you cook that clay block to make your terracotta. Look at it, look how fancy it looks. But yeah, you go from there, bam, boom, with your copper ingots. And 4 terracotta gets you 4 connectors. The connectors are what you need in order to send your energy from your capacitor, from your water wheel, from your windmills to your equipment that you're using. That's how you send them. That's how they interact with each other. But the connectors are a little weird. They're the end goal, if you will, for it. And then here you have your relays. All it is 2 copper, 2 terracotta. Nothing too bad. For that small amount, it makes 8 of them. How it does that, I don't know. But that's your low volts, connectors, and relays. And over here, we'll go to the medium voltage. We have our connectors and our relays. And we have electromagnets. So that's the difference here. It takes 4 terracotta, 3 electrum. Now you're wondering, how do you make electrum? Well, if you go over here, in the kiln, it's just gold and silver. It makes 2 electrum. Not too bad, right? Make a bunch of those. You make the medium volt relays and connectors. I don't recommend medium volt again. A little weird, don't need it. But here we have the high voltage. I recommend these a lot, but be careful, they do hurt if you cross the wires. But not too bad to make them. Just aluminum ingots and 4 terracotta makes 4 high volt connectors. And to make the relays, ooh, it's green. You gotta make insulated glass. How do you do that? Well, look right here. We have iron dust, 2 of them. We have 2 glass and one green dye makes 1 thing of insulated glass. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Nothing too bad again. Makes 4, makes 8. It's very nice, it's very efficient. Highly recommend high volt over medium volt and low volt. Just for energy transfer, for if you have a lot of things going on, I recommend this. So like I was saying before with the relays connectors, the connectors are what you put like your machines, your windmills, things like that, and you transfer the power to the machine itself. And you have a relay in the middle. But the connectors can only have 1 connection. That's why the relays are so important. Relays can have unlimited connections. They can go anywhere you want as long as there's nothing interfering with them. And if you're using low volts, as long as you're not exceeding its voltage limits, the wire, you're good to go. Cool thing with the relays, as long as the connectors are in chunks that are loaded, you can run things across entire map of Minecraft from one end to the other, as long as your connectors are loaded. So you have little spot chunk loaders, you can have actual chunk loaders, have people running across chunks themselves in order to have electricity run. So you can have a secret base being powered from a mountain far away. It'll work this way. But going back here, for the relays, they can connect anywhere. They can connect as many as you want. Connectors, only one. Cool thing with them, the relays, equipment, traps, things like that, Tesla coils, whatever you make, they can be 16 blocks apart and they can still connect like that. But they can't be any further than that, unfortunately. If you go any further than that, it doesn't load because that's one chunk of space. And that's it. That's why it's 16 blocks. So if we go over here, we have the breaker switch. This will stop the flow of power or electricity when needed. It lets you walk through the wires, because if I was in survival mode and I hit that wire, I would get hurt. But all you do, you right click it, the light goes on. Right click it again, it's off. Nothing too bad. Again, right click it, you shift down and you right click it, and that's how you attach wires to breakers. If you don't shift right click, it's not going to attach to it. It's a little weird. And that's it. That's how breakers work. They're very handy if you want to make light switches or things like that in your base. Now over here, we have our different wires, or coils I should say, and the amount that they can transfer. So for the low volt system, it only does 256 for the energy transfer. For medium volt, it's 1024, and for the high volt, it's 4096. That's the amount that they can control. Now the wire themselves, the high volt one, it is 32,000, but again, 4 to 6 heart damage. Medium volt, it is 8100, almost 8200, again 2 to 3 heart damage. And low volt, just 2048 max transfer, does about a heart to 2 heart damage. But again, that's only if you walk through it. If you walk through these in survival mode or hardcore, you will die, and then you lose your progress. Now, if you go over here, we have insulated wire. Insulated wire does not hurt you. Unfortunately, you only have low volts and medium volts wires, and that's it. No high volt. It's too strong of a current. It's not going to work out that way. But you can walk through these ones without getting hurt, and it's pretty nice, pretty easy to go. And that's your capacitors, that's your wires, your relays and connectors. So again, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.